For some of us last year and the beginning of this year, we received the word of the Lord that basically said that we were going to be in the best of times and the worst of times, and some of that is going to be all at the same time. But let me just remind you of what's coming while you're stepping into the greatness that God has for you. There are many of you who are about to be elevated into new positions, into new places, onto new platforms, into new experiences. We're about to use the skills that we have been training for, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in the kingdom of God, wherever it may be. We are stepping in to something great. But while stepping into this greatness, you must recognize and realize that there is always a wolf who is coming from the past to try to blow your house down. There is always somebody who's going to show up from your past, who's going to remember your past, bring your past up, throw your past in your face, or throw your past in the face of the people who want to hear the negative about you, so that they can use it against you, or to try to stop and block you from moving forward in the things that God has for you. Now, when the wolf comes from the past, they're going to come with no evidence of your change now and what you're doing now and how, God has worked on you, or either you have worked on yourself to reinvent yourself, to become something new. They don't know that side of you. So what they are doing is pointing people back to a time when you weren't healed, when you weren't healthy, when you weren't whole. You could have been 7 years old in the playground and you were bullied because you didn't know no better, and now here it is, you're 47, and this happened 40 years ago, and they're still holding you to the past of what happened when you were 7. You could have been a teenager. You might have been in your early 18, 19, and probably was a bully, or did some things that you were not happy about. You used to be in a gang, or do whatever it was that you did at that time, and now you've grown up, you matured into yourself, and here you're trying to do great things, and the people from your past won't allow you to step into this great thing without them exposing and telling people everything that you've done in the past, instead of seeing a change, seeing the newness, seeing the new you, or even getting to know anything about you. But because of what you did in the past that was so disgusting and so disgraceful and so bothered them or affected them in ways and things of that nature, now they want to bring that to the forefront. They're going to bring it to the people who's seeking to elevate you. They're going to bring it to the business or the corporation. They're going to bring it to the news and bring it to the limelight, bring it anywhere they can to try to keep you from elevating, from doing a great thing. And even if it's not elevation, you're probably trying to open a nonprofit or organization. You're trying to build a business. You're trying to build something to bring us about some type of change. You're trying to bring things out of ruin and bring things out of chaotic atmospheres, and trying to bring healing and hope to a community that's full of gang violence and things of that nature. But because people don't want you to do what it is that God has placed in your hand to do, or that you have given yourself the drive and the passion to be able to do, these people, they come from the past, and they're pointing the finger, and they're telling everybody about what you said and what you did and how you did it and who you did it with, and all of these different things, trying to stop and block you from building, from doing, from becoming something great. When we look in the Bible and we look at the story of Nehemiah, we see how Nehemiah had a passion to do one thing: rebuild the temple wall. And with him trying to rebuild, here come the enemies. Now, they may not have been from his past, but they were still enemies who showed up. Sanballat, Tobias, and the boys. And they came with such anger, trying to discourage Nehemiah and pull him down out of purpose. They came trying to break Nehemiah's focus and trying to do things to Nehemiah and say things to Nehemiah to get him to come down off the wall, and even went to other people to try to discourage the work that Nehemiah was doing. And Nehemiah was on assignment. He was focused. He had a vision to do something, and he was focused on that vision. And then here comes the enemy, wanting to step in and try to break down and bring him down and keep him from doing this great thing that he was trying to build. Now, Sanballat and Tobias may not have been in his past, but it serves the same purpose. I don't know whether they were or not, but it serves the same purpose. There's always somebody coming in and trying to tear down what you were trying to move forward into. But Sanballat and Tobias, and they come with these weapons, and it just got very aggressive in the way that they tried to keep Nehemiah from building, the same way it is with you. There are people who come from the past, come into your life or already in your life, but don't want to see you doing great. So what they'll do is they'll get more aggressive in the way that they attack you, in the way that they come against you. But let me encourage you. When God gave you something to do, God put something in your hand. It is time for the elevation. It is time to move forward. It's time to be great. It's time to build. It's time to step into that thing that God has given you to do. Don't you let no devil in hell call you down, call you out, pull you out, step you away from. I don't care what they say about your past. If it's something that God has for you to do, you're in a great moment. It's a great time. But here come the worst of time. The worst of time comes in these people with these accusations and the things that they are saying about you. You stay focused. You keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on Jesus, because if this is a work that you are called to do, it doesn't matter what somebody else says or knows about your past. And if something that you have hidden, then baby, can't nobody tell your story better than you do. You put it out there and you tell what it is and what you did in the past. If that's the closure, or if that's what the people need to hear for you to move forward, you tell your story, honey. It ain't nobody on this planet that can tell your story and your experience better than you can. And if you tell your story, God will take that mess and turn it into a message. You just make sure that you stay focused and stay about the Father's business. Keep your eyes on Jesus and keep moving forward in the elevation, in the things that God is calling you to build and to do. There is purpose. There is greatness in what you are doing. And somebody who's sitting doing nothing but can come back and complain and bring your past up and the things that you did in the past against you to try to get people to stop you. It's nothing but a Sanballat and a Tobias in your life trying to bring you down off a wall. But you have to stay focused. You have to keep your eyes on the things that you are doing, because there is nobody who can stop you from doing what it is that you are called to do and what God has put in you to build and to, put into a place to make the where you are, your community or your city, a better place. Whatever it is that you were trying to build, nobody can stop that but you. And if you don't do it, somebody else will be raised up to do it. But the people in your community or around you now, the kids who need what it is that you were trying to build, are going to suffer because you weren't obedient, or you allowed yourself to be distracted by naysayers. You can't clap back at everything. You can't respond to everything. If Nehemiah had responded to Sanballat and Tobias the way that they wanted, Nehemiah would have never finished rebuilding what it is that he started, and neither can you. You don't give people that type of attention, especially people who you have that are doing nothing, or they are not doing something that you are doing, or they are not doing what it is that God has called you to do. And even if they are doing the exact same thing, you look at them as the competition, because if they're trying to bring you down, obviously they're trying to compete with what it is that you are doing. But in the kingdom of God, there should be no competition. We should all be working together. Unfortunately, that's not always the case, but whenever you're about the Father's business and God is elevating you and putting you into new positions and new places and on new platforms, then everything should be working together for the good. But you keep your eyes on what God has given you to do, what He has placed in your hand, your purpose, your vision, the things that you were called to do, because the only person who can stop, block, and hinder you is you. So whenever they come from the past, looking like the past, smelling like the past, acting like the past, with the false accusations and all of the things, and even the true accusations and of what you did back then, and that God has worked on you and healed you and brought you to a better place. Don't let conviction and guilt and all of these different things build up in you, because they will hinder you and stop you, and they will be a stumbling block before you. You got to get that thing out of you. If you haven't been delivered from people pleasing and from what people saying about you and things of that nature. You got to have tough skin in this world nowadays in order to elevate and to move forward in things. And if you don't have what it is that you need to elevate and move forward, then baby, maybe it wasn't for you to step into that. But let me encourage you, you stay focused and do what you need to do, even if you got to do it in fear, even if you don't know how you're going to come out of it, even if you don't know, what the end is going to be, what the people are going to say. If one door closes, God has the power to open a new door and to make the way for you to get the loan, to get whatever it is that you need if these people decide to back out. But one thing for certain and two things for sure, no devil in hell can stop and block what God is putting before you to do, what he has put in your hands to do. You stay focused, keep your eyes on Jesus, and be about the Father's business, and watch God work that thing out where you elevate, where you step onto the platform, where you open the building, where you build the wall, where you open the business, where you do whatever it is that he has gifted and called and even given you a skill to do. Keep your eyes on God and keep building. Let the wolf huff and puff. He can't blow your house down because your house has purpose. And as long as it has purpose, God has the power to pull you out of anything that the enemy try to set against you, even the enemies from your past. This is Let's Talk Kingdom. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a blessed and prosperous day on purpose.